Here I have the top portion to a one-piece swimsuit I'm working on, and I've already sewn the elastic into the straps, and it goes down the low back and back up. I zigzagged that on with my sewing machine, so now I'm ready to take it to my Janome 2000CPX to top stitch. I almost always sew on the Janome 2000CPX with a tight setting. I rarely ever use the soft. As a basic rule, my needles are tighter than my looper, and when I'm doing something like elastic or thick, heavy fabric, that difference is going to be even greater. So for the elastic into swimwear, I have my left and center needle set at 5, my looper at 1, and on the tight setting. Differential at 1, and I like the look of a longer stitch length, so 3, 4, somewhere in between is where I usually set it. Another note, when doing elastic or thicker, heavy fabrics, you need to tighten the pressure of your presser foot. So I just do a couple full turns tighter than the normal setting. I don't measure or anything like that. I just know a couple full turns tighter, and that'll get the job done right. I'm also using a stretch thread for my looper. It's not necessary for swim fabric. I like to use it on the areas that are going to be against the skin because it is softer. And also for this machine, I make sure to use only the EL 705, and in the case of knits, the SUK version of that needle. So the first thing I want to do is to figure out where to line up my fabric once I turn under the elastic. So to do that, I'm going to turn it under, but from the underneath side, put it underneath and see where it lines up. There's 3 marks on the clear foot of the presser foot, and this outside mark, they each line up with the needles. So this outside mark is lining up with my left needle, and I want to make sure that the fabric is just outside of that. I don't want the needle to go off the elastic, but I want it to come pretty close to the edge. And then I just pay attention to where the edge is lining up here, so that when I turn it over to the right side, I can line it up and get close to the edge of the elastic. Turning the elastic under, I just want to make sure the fabric is smooth and everything's laying straight. When I want to start near the end or the beginning, very close, I use a leader fabric, so I just have another piece of test fabric that I have elastic in, and I sewed to the end of that first, so I'm going to stick this in. First couple by hand till it catches my actual project, and now I'm ready to top stitch all the elastic. And I just keep turning, stretching if I need to. There's areas where the elastic is stretched a little tighter. I want to make sure I'm stretching the fabric smooth before I sew over that. So here's a look at it again with all the elastic top stitched and down the back. Here's what it looks like on the right side and the wrong side. If you have the Janome 2000CPX, I hope you're enjoying it. If this video was helpful to you, please like, share, and subscribe.